Hi everyone, I am Rotaract Nithili Ramanayaka from the Rotaract Club of National School of Business Management with Route to A+. So today we are going to start off with our second lesson, and I will be teaching you all about reported speech. So let me share my screen and let's begin with our lesson. So I found a small website which actually has mentioned everything about reported speech, so y'all could get a better idea about reported speech. So they have included a few rules and how you could do this reported speech. Okay, so I'll start off with the basic rules of reported speeching and everything. Right. So reported speech is basically, you call it indirect speech. So in order to understand what are the differences between direct speech and indirect speech, so you can see here there are several differences between a sentence with direct speech and a sentence with indirect speech. So we no need to use the quotation marks with indirect speech. So that is a basic thing that you all should remember, that when you are turning a sentence into indirect speech, so you don't use the quotation mark at all. And we have to change the tense of the verb. And so if it's in present, you change it to the past, likewise. And we have to change the pronouns and all, right? So if we take a small example, as you can see, so he said, I can speak 4 languages. So that is in direct speech, okay? So an easy way to understand if the particular sentence is in direct speech or not. So basically, if it's in direct speech, it is in between the quotation marks. So this is in direct speech, and this is how we say it in reported form or indirect speech. So he boasted that he could. So we can, it's clear that can is changed into could. So that's what happens in reported speech when you change it from uh, direct to indirect. Okay, right. So and here we have more examples. Let's go out for a walk. Okay, so it's in direct speech. Okay, so if we are turning into indirect or reported form, this is how it is. She suggested going out for a walk. Likewise, that mobile is mine. So he claimed that mobile was him. Yes, I took the mobile. He admitted that he had taken the mobile. Okay, so it's clear for you that all the tenses have been changed. Okay, so here's another thing. So we can replace tell with the following verbs suited to the context: complained, stammered, sneered, snapped, explained, likewise. Okay, these are a few words that you could use instead of the word tell, right? So another thing, some important rules to report the dialogue. So here's another example. So it's in direct speech. The boy said to his friend, I am waiting for you here now. So how do you say it in indirect speech? So here's the indirect sentence. The boy told his friend that he was waiting for him there then, right? Then changes to be noted. So this is a small table that y'all could keep in your mind. So how these pronouns or the tenses might change from direct to indirect. Okay, so reporting verb. Okay, so if in a direct sentence, if it is mentioned as said to, so when reporting or in indirect speech, what happens is it becomes the said to becomes told. Okay, so pronouns like I in indirect speech or reported speech, it becomes he. Okay, and you becomes him. Likewise, tenses also now um, if in direct speech, if it is am waiting, it becomes was waiting in reported speech or indirect speech. Likewise, okay. So place concept, if it's here in direct, it becomes there in indirect. Okay. Time concept also, if it is mentioned as now in direct, it becomes then in indirect or reported speech. Okay, right. So if we talk a bit about the pronouns, how the pronouns would change from direct to indirect. So here they have given indirect speech and indirect speech or reported speech. So I and you, when it is converted into the indirect speech or reported speech, it becomes he, she, it. Okay. And my, mine, your, yours, it becomes his, her, hers, its in reported speech. Okay. So we becomes they in reported speech. Ours become their, our becomes their in reported speech. Ours become theirs in reported speech. Okay. Us become them in reported speech. Likewise, you have to keep this in mind. Okay. So that is about pronouns, how pronouns could change from direct to indirect. In the tense, so if we take about present tense, so present tense am, is, are, okay. So that changes to past tense, okay, was or were, okay. If the present tense, if we take the example like make or makes, it becomes made, which is the past tense in reported speech, okay, likewise. So has or have becomes had in indirect or reported speech. So have or has eaten becomes had eaten, okay, in reported speech. Likewise. So that is about the tenses, and next we have about the expressions of time and place indicating nearness are changed into one of distance. So like I mentioned earlier, so if indirect speech, if it is now, the indirect, when turning, when converting that to indirect speech, it becomes then. Okay, so today becomes that day, tonight becomes that night, yesterday becomes the day before or the previous day, tomorrow becomes the next or the following day. Likewise, so they have given a list. So I'll just read out. So last week, the previous week, or the week before. Last month, the previous month, or the month before. Likewise, okay. So if it is here, the indirect form of here would be there. Okay, this or it, the indirect form is that. These, the indirect form is those. Okay. If it's ago, then it's before in indirect form. Okay, right. So let's move on to some examples so that y'all could understand a bit better. Y'all could understand better about reported speech. So here's an example. So in direct speech, Rosie said, I have a habit of reading before I go to bed. What's the indirect speech of, or the indirect form of this sentence? Okay, Rosie said that she had a habit of reading before she went to bed. So as you can see, if you can remember what I mentioned earlier, that always if the given sentence or if the direct form of sentence is direct speech sentence is in present tense, it should always, I mean, you should always make sure that the present tense is converted into past tense when you are um, writing the direct sentence in indirect format. Okay, so that's what they have done here. Okay, so they have converted the present tense to past tense. So here they have used she had and also she went. Okay, likewise. So there's another example. In direct speech, they have given the sentence, David said, here is the pen I borrowed yesterday, John. Okay, so in indirect or reported speech, we say it as David said to John that there was the pen he had borrowed. Yeah, see, he had borrowed the previous day. Okay, so if you can remember the rules and regulations, the rules of reported speech that we discussed like a few seconds ago, then you will understand now. Okay, so you can see that they have used had borrowed there and also the previous day. Okay, likewise. Um, And here are some more examples. When reporting verb is in the present or future tense, there is no change in the tense of the reported clause. Okay, right. So direct speech, Sarah says, "I like kids." Okay, so indirect, what happens is that Sarah says that she likes kids. Okay, that she likes kids. Okay. So when the reporting verb is in the past tense, the verb of the reported clause is changed into the corresponding past tense. Okay, direct speech. Um, so an example of that particular instance, you can see Mohan said, I have written a novel. So how to convert that into reported speech? Mohan said that he had written a novel. Okay, he had written a novel. Okay, so it is as the reporting verb is in the past tense already here written. So when changed, when you're like reporting, I'm sorry, when you're writing it in indirect or reported speech, um, the verb of the reported clause is changed into the corresponding past tense. So that's it. That is what has happened here, right? Had written a novel. Okay. Um, so I'll, so yeah. So then the next rule is that actually I don't think in your textbook y'all have, I think y'all don't have to follow all these things as in like these present progressive situations are not actually included in your textbooks, but I'll just brief you about that as well, just to get an idea, just like to get an additional knowledge. So I'll just end the session from here as in like, this is like an additional part. So present progressive used as a future form becomes would be plus present participle, not past progressive. So just an example in direct speech. She said, I'm seeing the dentist next week. indirect speech. In indirect or reported speech, how you say that is, she said that she would be plus the present participle. Okay, would be seeing the dentist the following week. Okay, so I think that's all about that is mentioned in your textbook. Yeah. Yeah, so basically they have mentioned about the instances of present to past and will to would. So this was an additional thing that I taught. Okay, right. So that is the end of my session. So next week, let's do a few more exercises on reported speech. So I hope you all understood like the difference between direct and indirect, how the pronouns, how the tenses could change and all. So if you all have got any doubts, any clarifications, please drop it in the comment section. So now I will hand over the session to my friend, Rotractor Yashodhya, to proceed with the should and must. All right. Yash, over to you.
Hello everyone, I'm Yashoda Datsani from Rotaract Club of National School of Business Management with the project Road to A+. And I will be covering today with the parts of must and should. So let's move on to the session. And actually, can you give me pause?
You can share it, right?
Yeah. We use must. We can use this is the should and must part of the text book that comes along. And should you should take this challenge, and when it comes to must, you must obey the law. Must is like a stronger in like emphasizing than should. So furthermore, like we use must to express a stronger point of view that we have to, and the model that that must is also an express as an expression of an opinion, one of the like person's point of view. And we can use should to suggest something like an advice and like a it is sort of like the model should express the opinion on person's point of view. For example, we can take for should, you should apply for that job. You have sore throat, you shouldn't drink cold water. People should eat enough fruits in order to be healthy. There should be a way to do something. So likewise for must, we must fasten our seat belts. We must stop playing computer games. We must learn to drive. It will be very useful. Banks must examine all documents. She must not disturb me. So we have an activity for should and must. Complete the blanks using should, shouldn't, must, mustn't. So basically, shouldn't and mustn't is like an additional part of not into the word should or must. So first, you blank brush your teeth before you go to bed at night. So it can be like taken by your point of view, but I would rather say must in here. And the children blank play too much when they have to do homework. The children should not play too much when they have to do homework. You blank cross the road when the traffic lights are red. You must not cross the road when the traffic lights are red. The parents blank allow children to do risky things. The parents must not allow children to do risky things. Must. You blank always speak the truth. You should always speak the truth. So likewise, there's another activity that you can do with the parts of should and should not. So the first symbol, it says to keep it dry. So it should be you should keep that the object dry, in a dry place or in a dry area. And the B, handle with care. You should handle this product with care. And the C diagram, this side up. You should keep this side up. And for the D, put litter in the bin. You should put litter in the bin. And the E, uh, it is like fragile. Fragile means it is like tend to be like broken. Like so, it should handle with care. And do not drop. You should not drop this product. Maybe it can be a glass or something like a metal, which can be harmed by the outermost uh, packaging. So this will be it for the should and must. And if you all have any questions, please do drop a comment in the comment section below. And we will come up with another interesting session next week. Till then, stay safe, study hard. Thank you. And I'm Rotaract Yashoda Tatsani from Road to A+.